guys, thanks for joining us. My name is Andrew. This is Vince. We are AnVi Invest. So we're going to talk to you today about the top 4 reasons, the top 4 benefits of investing in real estate. Number 1, and the first one that we look for, is cash flow. So basically, cash flow is the income you make over any expenses you have on an investment property. So that is after taxes, after mortgage, etc., insurance, all that stuff. We factor that in, and then we make sure that what we're going to be earning in rent is going to cover that and then some. So you're making cash flow on every door that you buy if you're buying right. So with cash flow, how we do it at first is a quick and dirty method called the 1% rule. Basically what that means is if the house is worth 100K, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are making $1,000 in rent per month. If it's not hitting that number, you're wasting your time most likely. Maybe not, but most likely. So it's kind of a nice way of getting the math done quickly. And if it does come close to that 1% rule at least, then we start doing even more due diligence and digging in to the numbers, and that's where Vince comes in.
Okay, so that's the quick and dirty way to look. So for example, like we live in Newport Beach, Costa Mesa. So a property here is like $800,000. You can rent it for what, $3,000 at best. So you're hitting like 33%, like 0.3% rule, guaranteed to lose money. So we can't invest there, right? But let's say you buy something for 100K and it does come close to $1,000, like Andrew just mentioned. So what do we look for? We look for cash flow. So cash flow is calculated gross income minus expenses plus mortgage, right? So this is cash flow. So cash flow equals gross income minus, you do expenses plus mortgage, right? And then whatever the number is left is cash flow. So for example, let's just take this, right? So let's say $100,000 and then you put 25K down, right? And then so you're making no, just redo this. So you're bringing in $1,000 per month, and then the property is $100,000, right? So then you go. So what we use for expenses, about 30 to 50% of your income is gone for expenses. So let's just be easy. Let's say $500 is gone for expenses, and then let's say $250 is your mortgage. These are just examples, right? So you have $1,000 coming in. You have expenses of $500. What does the expenses include? You got repairs, you got vacancies, you got capex, like your stove stopped working, you got to change the roof, all that stuff. You got to do all that, and then plus mortgage. What is mortgage? We got PITI, which is principal. That's the principal amount you're paying off. Then you have interest. Right now it's like 2 to 3%. Then you have taxes, and then you have insurance, right? So you add this plus 250, you're set with $750, right, for this, and you're making $1,000 per month. So then you subtract $750, you have $250 in cash flow. That's per month, right? So this is a $100,000 property. More likely you put 25K down. So what is that? That's so you multiply this number actually by 12. So you get $3,000. So $3,000 divided by $25,000 will be your cash on cash return for the year. So a little bit more than 10%, maybe 12%, something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so cash flow is the first thing that we look at. The second thing is really more of a cherry on top, but it is appreciation. So appreciation is, maybe we should just erase, what's that eraser? So appreciation is amazing because what that is that's something that's just an added bonus. Now, of course, you want to buy in a good area, something that is, increasing in value. Not going to lie, that's the majority of the United States. If you're investing in some dumpy little town that's dying, okay, you're already an idiot. But if you run your numbers and you're looking at the area, which is not hard to do now with technology, you can find any city that is growing, or any town for that matter. And once you have that, you know that you're going to have appreciation. In fact, it's about 2 to 7% that the home values in the United States tend to appreciate on average. So it's kind of hard to miss. With appreciation, what you're going to get is you're going to get basically every single, I'll do like a little mini chart here. Every single day, your property tends to do this while your mortgage stays right here. And that right there is the magic. And Vince is going to go in depth on that as well.
Yeah, so Andrew talked about appreciation. So you're like, okay, dude, appreciation is great, but it's stuck in the house. I can't use it. So I'm going to tell you how actually you can use appreciation, right? So like he mentioned, so let's do a math example. So we have 100K a property. You put 25K down, right? And you buy this house. That's how real estate works. You buy something 4 times more. You can go borrow the money. You can't do that with stocks. That's why stocks is like a scam. Like you can't go tell Microsoft, hey, I'm going to buy 400 of your stocks. How about I buy 100 and you buy 300? They would laugh at you, right? That's not a thing. So here, so you put 25K, buy something for 100K. So let's say it appreciates, let's say 3% a year, right? So we got 10 years, 3 times 10 years. So 3% every year, it kind of compounds. So 3% of 103 is not 3, slightly more. So it actually more. But let's just do easy math. So it went up to $30,000. You went up in value. You didn't do anything. You're just sitting in the house, watching TV. 10 years, your house is worth $30,000 more. So now you go to the bank and say, hey, man, I want to borrow some money from the house. So you can actually take out the $30,000. This is not a taxable even because it's debt. You're borrowing against your residence, right? So nobody's going to charge any tax on it. Actually, you can actually write off the interest you get from this. It's crazy. So you go to the bank and get $30,000. Guess what? From 10 years, the $30,000, you go buy another 100K house. You don't do anything. You just bought another house for free.
Yep.
So that's the benefit of appreciation.
Absolutely. So that's appreciation. The third reason why you want to get involved in real estate, or the third benefit, I should say, is the tax benefits. Okay? This is huge. So, it is a fact that most lawmakers in the U.S. own real estate and are very wealthy themselves. They write the laws, they know the laws, and they invest in real estate. What do you think that means? That means they're literally writing the tax code for people like us who invest in real estate. And that is the magic of tax benefits. What you're going to get is you're going to get, obviously, you can write off capital expenditures. If you're going to repair something, you can write off all kinds of expenses just as if you were a business owner owning real estate. But the biggest and the most awesome part of it is you get what is called paper loss. So as this continues to go up in appreciation, your mortgage stays here, the paper loss actually sends this skyrocketing because you can write off the paper loss, the depreciation costs of that property for 27 and a half years against your normal income. So you literally just took your income and did that on the back end every April. Vince, you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so let me talk a little bit about the tax benefits. There's a lot to cover. We'll probably do another video just on that, but we'll hit the basics with this. So there's a lot of tax benefits, like you said. So let's just talk about the paper loss for a second, right? So what is paper loss? So depreciation, for example. So let's say you buy a property for whatever, $350,000, and then you cannot depreciate land. You can only depreciate the building, right? So let's say the property value is actually the building is actually valued at $275K. So let's say it's $275K is the value of your building. So the like the roof and everything, right? So for this is a residential property, which is a 1 to 4 units. You can depreciate this over 27 and a half years. What does that mean? I can actually take this value and divide it by 27.5 and take that as a loss when I file for taxes. This is crazy. This is not really a loss. This is just on paper. So $10,000, right? So if you do the math, it's $10,000. So let's say this property is bringing me 275. Let's say it's bringing me 35K in income, right? Realistically, you're supposed to pay income tax on the 35K. But if you're a reasonable, smart real estate investor, you're never paying income tax on this. So for example, I just got $10,000 in depreciation, so that's a loss. So I take that out, 10K gone. Let's say I did some repairs on this. Let's say 5K, that's gone. Mortgage insurance insurance on the property, that's gone. Property management, that's gone. And then interest on the property, also gone. So if you take out all of these expenses, you'll usually be left with a negative number. So for example, like let's say negative 5K. So what happens is, now if you have a W-2 job, let's say I have a W-2 job, let's say I make $100,000, right? I can actually deduct $25,000 of real estate losses on my W-2 job. I work for a medical device company, and I can actually say, hey, I actually lost $25,000 here, so I'm not going to pay taxes on my W-2 job when I'm making $100K. So now I'm only paying taxes on $75K. I'm making money. Remember I said we're making $35K on this property, right? And then I'm saying I lost money, and then I'm not paying taxes on my other income. So this gets a little complicated once you make over 100K, and once you reach 150K, it kind of goes away. You can only deduct up to 25. That's a whole another video. That's a workaround around that too, which Andrew will be taking next year. But this is one of the benefits, right? So you made money in real estate, you're not paying any income taxes, and you're saying you lost money, and you're not paying income taxes on your W-2 job. You know, this is crazy stuff. So you guys need to get on the same.
Wins on wins.
Wins on wins.
What's that last one?
The last one we got is the leverage, which I love, right? So I briefly mentioned about the stocks. So the most exciting thing on real estate for me is you have $25, you can go buy real estate for $100. What does that mean? That means if I want to buy real estate for $1 million, I only need $250,000. I can go borrow the rest of the money from a bank or a lender or a sister, who are you on, right? So now you're controlling assets worth $100,000, and you can depreciate the $100,000, but you only put $25,000. It doesn't matter how much money you put in. It's irrelevant. It's based on the value of the building. So what does that mean? So if I have $250,000, I go buy something for $1 million. So now I can exponentially grow my wealth because I'm buying something 4 times as much for the money I have. So for example, we bought something for $1 million, and it's going up by, let's say, 3% a year. 10 years from now, that's 30%, right? So it's million and $1.3 million. So it just went up by $300,000. I can actually borrow that money out after 10 years. So 5 years, if you do a commercial real estate, you can forcefully increase the value of your property by increasing rents and stuff. So you can actually borrow the money, pay yourself back, go buy another property. You can't do this with any other investment. So.
Yep. Awesome. So in all, what we have is cash flow, number 1, appreciation, number 2, the property is always increasing in value. As number 3, you have tax benefits, where you are able to write off your income from, or be able to write off your depreciation costs, which is just paper loss, not real losses, actual losses, against your ordinary income, which is amazing. And then 4, you're able to leverage your cash to take it from here, and it could go here overnight almost.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe.